And I'm back. So what I'm going to do is try to use my clamps here to clamp this part, which wasn't fully glued down, but I'm going to clamp the part that was so that nothing comes loose, and we'll see how it looks when I'm done. Well, the clamps won't work, so it's going to have to be the elastics again. That might be the more precise way to do it anyway. So I got all the elastics here. So let's try this one first. Of course, we're going to need it to wrap around again. Yeah, it's getting there. Although that one piece went underneath. So let me try again. That's better. That's better. Now I don't know if the clamp can approach from the front instead, not with the radiator in the way. But the elastic on there should help. And now as far as this, I don't think there's anything that can help that gap. We're just going to have to trust that everything holds. So what I'm going to do as well is get the elastic to be put on the other end along the back just to make sure, because you don't want anything to go wrong. Don't mind me here, I'm just adjusting the clamps so that they can fit on top of this white shelf without falling off. Alright, so we just find another elastic like that one. A little bigger diameter. But one that, one that should be able to fit along the back, right like that, without anything going wrong. So, there. And there. And there. 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 There you go. So there is the elastic together car while the parts glue, and as you can see it's still attached mostly there. Now what we'll do now is put some glue in place right in that joint just to make sure that the attachment is secure. Hope that the glue doesn't actually attach to the elastic so you can get it off. And we'll leave it until tomorrow morning. And we'll take it apart and hope that the parts glued themselves together successfully. So, see you then. Bye-bye. I'm back again. It's been a few hours by now since I attached the elastics and to add the glue there. So I'm going to carefully remove the elastics now, and we're going to see if we got the job done. Don't break an axle or anything. Here we go. Go around the piece. Do this first. There you go. Careful, because that's where the wheels go on, and that's going to be the next test in this video. The wheels themselves, will they fit on all four axles correctly? So I will take everything off and be right back. Well, I wouldn't have believed it, but it worked. As you can see, it is now firmly attached, at least at that section, just like it is on the other side. Now, it may not be as far down as it was, but that's as close as you're going to get. Now, I know there is still a gap here, as you can see. But that's the best we can get. I'm not going to mess with it, but what I am going to do is attach all four wheels to the axles, and we'll see what kind of picture we get. And I'll make that one a YouTube short preview. Well, this isn't quite working out the way I'd hoped. The wheels are too loose. They come right off. Now let me switch out the front one here and a back one, I am going to have to apply some putty to the wheels inside so that they're thick enough to fit onto the axles without falling off, because this is it's not what I was hoping for. So let's switch this one. Or what I can do is try to thicken up the axles a bit by adding paint. Yeah, but this is not working. So what I'm going to do, I don't want to try to put putty in here. It'll just mess things up, I think. So the next best thing is to use black paint to thicken up the axles enough that I can, it'll fill up more space, and I think just a few subtle layers of paint will do that. So let me apply it all the way around, of course. This will be a first, having to paint manually on purpose to thicken up stuff that just wasn't thick enough, keeping in mind that it'll be covered by the paint. And you know what? To add to that effect, I'm actually going to also paint the inside of the wheel bearing itself, just to make sure. So I'm actually going to paint in here. I know it says don't glue in there, but there's nothing to say don't paint in there. So actually that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to paint the black outside and inside. So it's completely black. And of course I will touch up in there as well. But this is just to start with. I know it moves. That's so that the wheels can spin, but I have to paint it first. That's okay. That's okay. This is the safest and easiest way to create a tighter connection between the parts, is to paint the parts. And of course, as you see on the box, I'm going to have to paint black in here as well, the flat parts. So I'll use a gray base, like the Folk Art Steel or something, and then I will paint inside. But I don't mind this. It needs to be painted. It needs to be repainted anyway, so painting it by hand is all right. Okay, so that's all for now on Sean's model builds for tonight. I will take the picture to show what progress I've made as of today. So here's the car with the engine more firmly attached, although, you know, actually, since it's been glued and everything, you might as well fix the color there. So 1 minute. Paint that there. Fix the glue in here, paint all this as well. That might help solidify the glue bond, actually. All right. I'm going to have to paint the side of that, because you'll probably see it when the fender's not attached. I mean, even when the car body's attached. So there's going to be a lot of touch-up painting now to do with the Folk Art Licorice, but that's okay. I'm prepared for that. And I don't need to worry about it looking too neat at this point, because it's near the engine and everything, and you expect it to look a bit rough. Yeah, but I'm quite happy with the way everything attached, and I'm so glad that this attachment is so much closer than it was before, so that's good. All right, so we'll set the paint aside for now, because you still have to use it to touch up the car body. Get the 4 wheels. And take the picture. Get the legs out of the way. Don't worry, it'll crop later. So there you go. So that's all for now for Sean's Model Builds. This is Friday, February 9th, and we'll see you here when I get more done, preferably on the inner car body. I'm not doing the front pillars near the back windshield, but I am doing here, but I'm not doing this. And I'm going to stop at this part on the, because you don't want black paint to spill out with the glue onto the windshield and wreck it. So I'm going to stop at these circles here. So see you later. Bye-bye. All right, well, my idea earlier of putting paint on the wheel axles and the back of the wheels to thicken them, well, they've actually stayed long enough to get a picture of it. And I've started using the black to replace the silver on the car. Now, you know, paint smudges and stuff, well, it's RoboCop's working vehicle, so you can't expect it to be in pristine factory condition. I pass off paint mistakes as accidental weathering. So I'm going to flip the chassis around. I touched up some black in here too, make up for the glue. Let's see if it can be upright on its wheels, because that's the important part. All right, it is upright on its wheels, but as you can see, they wobble a bit. That's the right side picture to crop later. Here's the left side. Now it does roll somewhat. There's the right side. Crop it later. Okay, so that's pretty good. That's good progress for today, the 9th of February, Friday. And now, of course, there's only so much room the movie maker can do. Half an hour seems to be its limit as to what it can splice together. So, now let me see what happens when I light up the flashlight. Not much difference, but let's turn off the overhead light. Ah, see, when the flashlight's on, it's still yellowish. It takes the overhead light to take it back to a more natural blue light. Okay, so that's all for now for RoboCop car. Set everything aside, let it dry and everything, let the glue set on the engine, so turn it this way again. That way gravity helps, and the computer's ready to splice together some more footage from January 16th to 17th, so see you all tomorrow if I get more work done, probably touching up the inside of the car tomorrow. Bye-bye. This morning to check on the progress on the car. So I clamped. It stayed in place all night. Didn't get glued to the car. The putty's in there. The part is in place. Still not quite connected here, but that's okay. These parts have been extended a tiniest bit with putty. So we're going to test the wheels on here now. See if it works any better. Come on. Ah, it still flies off. Yeah, it's just disappointing. But I will work on the wheels. I will work on extending the axles. And we'll just see what we... See, that stays on pretty good. Pretty well. This one? That stays on pretty well as well. Good. So the front ones need adjusting. The back ones are fine. And all I need to do now is paint that black. And it works. Good. Now that shouldn't need to be painted because it'll have a radiation, like it'll have this in front of it. So there's that colored in black. There's the car. That's good. You see? You see how the flat black paint worked? No paint marks. Just have to get in there. There's the bottom runner. That's pretty good. That blends in pretty well. It's a little darker. Just have to go under here. That's pretty good. And I love it. Look, look, look. It painted well here, so it's like under a seam line. That's perfect. Good. Good, good, good. Yeah, it's coming along bit by bit. Of course, I'm going to have to paint this. I can do that. All right, so I'm quite pleased. The new clamps worked well. And there's really nothing more to do except do a little painting. So that's what I'm going to do now. Yes, and putting the putty on just with a toothpick helps make sure that you don't put too much on at one time. So that's great. All right, so black paint is right here. I'm in view, so that's good. And yeah, all right. Now forgive me, I'm left-handed. Oh, it's still in view. Perfect. There we go. All right, so then you just paint everything black now to hide the putty that had to fill in where everything was, you know, there was a part that was in the way, so I had to paint it. Look at that. That's good. It's like nothing was ever destroyed. Now, I am going to paint black on the edge of the axles where the putty was applied. All of them, both of them. Now all four of them actually. Just not too much paint. Just the tiniest little amount. Just enough to cover the axle. Good. Okay, good, good, good. Yeah, another reason is this one is slightly bent. Now, you have to approach it from the edge. There. Have to approach this one from the front. There you go. Good, 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 good. Yay. All right, good. Now, while we're on the subject of painting, you want to fix that little mess on the trunk here, the central trunk. So just paint it black. There you go. And there you go. Good, 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 good. Yeah, touch it up. All right, all right. That's pretty good. Well, that's all for now. And we'll see you when I do more. Bye-bye.